Hello and welcome back, my incredible AP Insight family. Abby Phillip here. The U.S. men's hockey team just won a gold medal at the Olympics, marking its first victory of this caliber since that legendary upset in 1980. What should have been an unabashed celebration of success, a wave of unity across the country, well, it got completely derailed by the FBI, Donald Trump, and the PBI. The infuriating one who never takes full action. I'm about to roll up the footage of this wild-eyed clown squandering public funds like it was his personal piggy bank. And trust me, you're going to have to watch how a man this dim, this emotionally scarred, and this hungry for companionship can be when he wants to head the nation's top investigative agency. So, go ahead and smash the subscribe icon now. That's how we continue to deliver raw, unfiltered reporting and breakdowns that major network outlets won't touch, afraid because they're being criticized by Trump and his crew of enforcers. Now, when it comes to giving out awards for the most sleazy, two-faced, and morally bankrupt servant in Trump's circle, who even takes the top spot? It's a tough call, isn't it? But let's be real. I wish Patel had held his ground in the midst of all the chaos. Sure, you could lean toward crowning someone like the sharp-tongued Pam Bondi, but hey, at least she managed to clear the legal bar somewhere along the line. Patel. She has zero credentials to run the FBI, but is a washed-up conservative online personality who has worked her way up the ranks for Trump's good deeds. Think about it. This guy wrote a children's storybook that depicts Trump as a hero. How low would you have to sink to take him down? Still, he had no problem blasting Biden's staff back in the day. Former FBI boss Christopher Wray gets his shots at boarding the agency's plane for family getaways. And no, but does Chris Wray really need a taxpayer-funded Gulfstream to go on vacation? Maybe we should keep this bird on the tarmac. It only costs 15 grand to get it in the air every time. Then, wouldn't you know it, Patel himself got caught using the same executive jet to fly to Las Vegas for a romantic evening with his partner at a professional wrestling show. And listen to how he addressed it when pressed. The opposition party is apparently gearing up to investigate your handling of the FBI plane, alleging that you converted it into your private shuttle for recreational travel, like heading to a wrestling match, supposedly with your significant other. Is there any truth to that? And if there is, well, if the roles were reversed and these were Biden's people in the hot seat, I'm likely calling them on air this evening, but I thought I'd give you the floor to set the record straight on this sideswipe. Yeah, it's straightforward. Every FBI director is ordered to use the Bureau's plane. They forbid me from flying commercial. Fast forward to the recent past, and MSNBC dropped a report detailing how Cass rode to Milan on an official ride to catch the U.S. men's hockey team battling Canada for gold. Then, the FBI's Deputy for Communications, Brian Williamson, fired off this formal tweet from the official account. I gave this outlet almost the entire rundown of the director's official engagements during his time in Italy, and they still push this nonsense. Note that qualifier, almost, because as it turns out, the itinerary conveniently omits any mention of Patel showing up on the field, which is problematic in itself. But wait, it gets even worse. He even made his way to the team's dressing room bash after the victory. Look at your FBI chief, guys. Imagining the video dramas, cheers, anthems playing, confetti flying, Patel joining in awkwardly. Your title as a symbol of liberty resonates as you usher in this victory. You feel like the whole world is showering you with blessings. All delivered by a crimson wave. Yes, there's your party's tough law enforcement chief. As a result, he's scrambling to justify it all, claiming he's just hanging out with friends. Wait a minute, who are these so-called friends of yours, Cass? You don't have any real ones, do you? But beyond that superficial excuse, what this clip really exposes is the essence of who Cass Patel is. Our nation's FBI leader is no rugged strategist, no sharp-witted operator, no brilliant coordinator of vast operations. Far from it. Instead, he's the whispering, undersized scofflaw who hovers in the shadow of the schoolyard tough guy, piped up with a faint echo. Yeah, watch out. He'll make you good. Is it any wonder Trump brought him on board? Why wouldn't he? Every Democrat in office who refuses to hold this pint-sized provocateur in front of an impeachment panel for misappropriating his federal assets deserves a primary challenge from someone with a backbone. This is Anthony Vincent Galalo reporting for Occupy Democrats. If this segment struck a chord, hit that thumbs up and join our subscriber list. Not only does it increase our visibility, it's a real step toward taking down Trump and the entire MAGA apparatus that pushed him forward. Let me delve deeper into why this hockey gold now feels so tainted. Picture the scene. Players who have poured years of sweat, discipline, and sheer passion into their craft, standing on that podium with their medals gleaming under the lights, the national anthem playing in the background. It's the kind of event that unites families around the TV, inspires kids to put on skates, and reminds us all of what can be achieved through collective effort. But then, intruding on that purity, we have this political sideshow courtesy of the Trump administration. How could a figure like Patel, who holds such a pivotal role, inject his personal desires into the sacred resources of taxpayers? This isn't just about a trip. It's a pattern that erodes trust in institutions. And speaking of patterns, let's unpack Patel's history of finger-pointing. Back when he was looking out, Patel berated officials for their looks as a wasteful use of government privileges. His commentary on Ray was pointed out, questioning the need for high-end travel for personal downtime. Why should the public foot the bill for luxury flights when budgets are tight elsewhere? It's a fair question in isolation, but the hypocrisy shines through when Patel flips the script after taking office. That Vegas trip? Not a mission-critical trip, but a leisure trip masquerading as something else. And defending it during this congressional exchange? Boilerplate theft. The rules require it, no choice in the matter. But does that hold water when the trips are far removed from official duties? Now, let's turn to this latest Milan incident. Documents leaked to the press paint a stark picture of extravagance. Flight logs, scheduling lapses, all point to a deliberate side of transparency. Williamson's tweet attempts to deflect, insisting on almost full disclosure of meetings. But why the difference? What does this almost hide, if not the very activity that is under scrutiny? Attending a game itself raises eyebrows, but intruding into a locker room. It's entering an area reserved for genuine supporters or dignitaries with legitimate connections. Patel's presence there, captured on video during a celebration, feels like an unwelcome intrusion. Who invited this outsider to enjoy the hard-won glory of others? And his post-event spin, framing it as friendship with acquaintances, demands scrutiny. Are these connections truly forged through shared experiences or through opportunistic photo ops to burnish his image? The footage doesn't lie. There's a strange quality, a forced enthusiasm that screams at outsiders for trying too hard. That's not leadership, that's holding back success. How can someone charged with protecting national security choose such selfish paths? It tarnishes the FBI's reputation, doesn't it? Agents in the field, risking everything, while their bosses head off for the show. Let's circle back to Patel's qualifications or lack thereof. No extensive law enforcement background, no proven track record in intelligence surveillance. Instead, his resume features works as an observer and writer of Trump-adoring fluff pieces. That children's book? That's not just quirky. It's a sign of blind loyalty over substance. How does writing fairy tales guide investigations into domestic and foreign threats? It doesn't, and that's the point. Trump's appointments often favor loyalty over competence, and Patel exemplifies that flaw. Comparing her to others in orbit like Bondi highlights the disparity. She brings lawsuits even if they are controversial. Patel, her rise seems to have been fueled by the echo chamber's definition and proximity to power. Her past criticisms of the Biden era now ring hollow against her own actions. Remember her suggestion to ground Ray's plane? Apply that logic here. Shouldn't the same standard bind her? The Vegas incident further illustrates this double standard. A date night at a wrestling show. Fun, sure, but why on public money? His response to the accusations, a casual dismissal, a call for protocol. But protocols exist to serve the mission, not personal desires. If the roles were reversed, as he himself noted, the outcry would be deafening. This trip to Milan compounds the problem. The official schedules provided to the media omitted the game, suggesting an intent to obfuscate. Williamson's defensive ring is defensive, right? Almost perfect. The choice of words invites doubt. And the locker room video, it's evidence of overreaching. Patel's attempt to recast it as a friendly celebration failed. Dudes? In what world does the FBI director casually mingle with Olympians without any prior bonds? Ultimately, this reveals Patel's role, not a commanding presence, but a peripheral enabler, quick to threaten but slow to lead. Trump's election makes sense in this light. Lock yourself in. But to the nation, it's a responsibility. Democrats must act, promise impeachment, or face the electoral consequences. The reckless use of resources demands accountability. This is the kind of exposure that corporate media hesitates to give for fear of backlash. That's why your support matters. Subscribe, like, engage. Together, we challenge the status quo and push back against the MAGA grip, spreading the word about Olympic victory. Why does it matter that this gold comes decades later? The 1980 Miracle on Ice wasn't just about sports. It was a symbol of the Cold War, of the professions taking down amateurs. Today's win echoes that sentiment, but Patel's actions overshadow it. How frustrating must it be for the athletes, their moment hijacked by politics?